Greetings YouTube, Joe here with Color Nation Media, and welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is episode number 49. In this episode, we're going to be heart piece searching yet again. We're going to be getting all but maybe one or two, maybe all but three of the heart pieces that are remaining in the entire game. The first of which is in the far northwest corner of Hyrule Field next to a lone tree. You can place a bomb next to its root, and it will create a secret hole that leads to an underground cavern with a bunch of water and a blue Tektite. So lure the blue Tektite over to land, or simply just shoot it with your arrows. That works too. And with the Zora tunic on, or just the golden scale, you can either just dive down to the bottom of this and grab the heart piece, or you can equip the iron boots to sink down to the bottom and grab it that way. But yeah, that's the first heart piece of this episode. The next heart piece that we're going to be retrieving is right next to Lake Hylia. With Epona, you can jump over these two gates, but in the middle one, or I guess in between, it's not the middle gate, but you know what I'm talking about. You're going to, again, place a... No, Link, don't just throw bombs all over the place. You can't just be careless with your explosives. Gosh. Okay, so just place the bomb pretty much in the center of the grassy area in between where the gates are, and it will make a hole appear in the ground, inside of which is a business scrub. So just kill him with a hookshot or a bow or whatever. Alright, you win. In return for sparing me, I will sell you a piece of heart. One piece, 10 rupees. Oh my goodness, that is a bargain. I would pay hundreds of rupees for a heart piece, but that's okay. So, just give him his 10 rupees and he'll give you some rupees back, actually. He gave us 3 rupees there. And you get a heart piece as well. Fantastic. So, that's 2 down. And we still have quite a few hearts to fill up, so our work is still kind of sort of cut out for us. The next thing that we want to do is head out to the Death Mountain Crater. So we're going to pull out our ocarina and play the Bolero of Fire, which is something that we have not played in a while. At least that's what it feels like. I miss the Death Mountain days. I really like the Fire Temple and that whole area. It's much better than the Water Temple. I hated the Water Temple. Okay, so... Oh. Yes, you're going to want to use the magic bean plant that is right next to the warp point, but also make sure that you have your Goron tunic equipped. Anywho, the magic bean plant will take you right next to a pillar that has a heart piece, and you can simply jump off and stand on the pillar and go grab it. Easy as pie. The next heart piece that we're getting is also in the Death Mountain Crater once you climb up the ladder by where the entrance is. Not the warp point, the entrance. So, like, coming into here normally instead of just warping. I know, it's crazy, but all you have to do is kind of walk off the edge, and instead of falling, Link will grab this wall and be able to climb up with it. I guess because it has a rough surface. But anyway, you can climb down into the little alcove and pick up another piece of heart, and now we have a new heart container. Our next piece of heart leads us to Lake Hylia, and we're going to go into the Lakeside Laboratory and jump into the pool of water behind the old man, and we can use our golden scale that we obtained from the fishing pond to dive all the way down to the bottom. There are a couple of red rupees down at the bottom there, as you can see. I don't really care about that though. So once you touch the very bottom of this pool, the Zelda chime will go off, and now you have to go talk to the scientist. When you speak to him, he will give you a heart piece. You may not have noticed, but I've been watching you. You touched the bottom just now. Fantastic! I'll give this to you. And our reward, obviously, the heart piece. Okay, our next heart piece brings us back to the Zora's Fountain, next to the Zora's Domain. And we could have gotten this earlier. In fact, we could have gotten a lot of these earlier, but I've kind of put it off a little bit. So, you're going to want to go towards the center of the lake and equip your iron boots, which will send you all the way to the very, very bottom, and it will take a little while for you to fall all the way down there because it's kind of a deep pool, apparently. There are rupees scattered pretty much all over the place. They're just single rupees, though, so it's nothing to be excited about. And down in the center, at the very deepest point, is a piece of heart. Awesome. Now we can take these iron boots off. Yikes. Our next piece of heart leads us over to Kakariko Village. And all you need to do is have the long shot, and you can long shot over to the building with a purple roof. There's a guy up here. All you have to do is talk to him, and he's just going to give you a heart piece. Good to see you again. I'll give you this as a memento. Probably one of the easiest heart pieces in the entire game, so don't miss it. Next, we're off to the graveyard, and, well, the first thing that we're going to do is use this magic bean plant. Jump off there and hit the crate. Very simple. The heart piece is just chilling in there. It's kind of hard to believe that we missed that earlier, but that's okay. We're actually going to be staying in the graveyard here because there's another heart piece that we've missed. And all you need to do is pull this grave right next to where the magic bean plant is. And yes, that's Dampe. We already raced him. That's how we got the hookshot in the first place. But we need to race him again because we get a special reward for beating the challenge in under a minute. Actually, it's 1 minute or less. I believe you can get a minute as long as you get it exactly. Not entirely sure on that, though. I've always got it just under, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, it's the same exact race as before. You don't have to do anything differently. He doesn't get any more difficult. This doesn't get any more challenging. There's just one little aspect at the very end that we need the long shot for in order to complete in under a minute. Because I don't know if you remember, but if you refer back to that video, our time was most definitely over 1 minute. So, may not have been by a lot, but it was over a minute. So, the trick to doing this is when we come to the last room right here. You're going to want to use the long shot onto the torch, which kind of sucks because it's very touchy. And if you roll in, oh, I don't know if I beat it. I got 1 minute exactly. Let's see. The time of this race was 1 minute. You're back, young man. Was the present game useful? Apparently it was. Oh, okay, so if you get 1 minute exactly on your time, you still get the heart piece. We don't have a lot of heart pieces left, do we? Once you are turned back into a child again, we are back at the Temple of Time here, and we can pull out our Ocarina and play the Requiem of Spirit. And with that, we can warp to the Desert Colossus, because, again, that is the only way that young Link will be able to get here. He cannot get here by conventional means. You cannot ride Epona. You cannot do any of that stuff. No, because there's no way for young Link to get through the Gerudo Fortress. That being said, once you have arrived at the Desert Colossus, we're going to head out towards the temple. And, of course, avoiding the levers the whole way over, which is no easy task, mind you. Those things are relentless. There's a couple of things we can do before we enter the temple, however. You're going to make sure you want to. Yes, that's clearly good English. You're going to want to make sure that you have a bottle of bugs, which you can get actually from a lot of the shops. A lot of the shops will sell them to you. You can also find them in holes and under grass patches, under rocks. They're pretty much everywhere. Once you set the bugs free in this magic bean patch, a golden Skulltula will appear regardless of whether it is day or night. So, want to make sure you grab that. Then you can also plant a magic bean plant here for the future, and we'll come back and get a couple of the heart pieces that are just hanging out around here. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for episode number 50. Game on.